Hello guys, it's Emily. I am very sorry for the long delay between videos. Con season hit and I had a couple of cons to go to and a lot of sewing in between. So that is over with now. I had a really good time and my next con is not until August, I think. So I've got plenty of time to work on videos and catch up on my sewing projects, which I have a lot of. And I actually am going to do a video of my sewing room just as soon as I get it the way that I want it. I'm cleaning and organizing. You can see my sewing machine behind me, and like a really scary wig head and a really scary dress form. So those are my really scary things that I have. So I've got a lot of different things planned, but I thought it would be kind of a fun way to jump back into things and have kind of like a throwback Thursday type of video. Back in the early to mid 2000s, there was a Flash animation website called homestarrunner.com, and if you were internet savvy during those times, you probably remember Homestar. It was made by two guys, I want to say Mike and Matt Chapman, something like that, because they called themselves the Brothers Chap, and there was another girl and her name was Missy. But they put together this website that ran on Flash, which was an animation style that was really popular back in those days, in the early internet, albino black sheep, E-Bombs World, that sort of thing, if everyone remembers the end of the world and Shoop de Whoop and all that stuff. But so Homestar was a really cute little series. They had different sections. They would have tunes that featured the majority of the cast, and then there was a series of emails that people would write in and one of the characters would answer, and those emails became so popular. And even if people didn't know what they were from, people recognized them, which is really funny. But when I was in high school, I got a group of people together to do a bulk order from their store, their web store, and people got hoodies and t-shirts and keychains and that sort of thing. But I didn't tell them that when the order was over $200, they had two figure sets that they sold, and they would throw both sets in for free if the order was over $200. So I got enough people in that the order was in fact over $200, and I just didn't tell anybody, so I kept the figures, and I've had them since probably my sophomore, junior, I guess it was my sophomore year of high school. And I thought it would be cute and fun to go through those characters today and kind of show those figures off, just because they've been sitting in a I've had them sitting in this Full Metal Alchemist tin that I got a long time ago also, and it has nothing to do with each other. It's just what I put them in, and they've just been sitting in it under my coffee table. But I think that the first 4 DVDs came in this tin. Full Metal Alchemist it was my first anime that I watched, and so I had to buy all the DVDs. And I've still got those. They're sitting on my DVD DVD shelf, and I don't have many DVDs, but those are some that I wanted to keep. But anyway, back to Homestar Runner. So, the main character, this is Homestar. He has very long legs and no arms, and a star on his shirt and a propeller cap. And he was very unorthodox, and he talked like this all the time. That was so bad. He had a lisp, or a speech impediment, I guess. And he really enjoyed running. One time he was running and he got a bug in his mouth that he swallowed, and he was freaking out. He thought he was gonna die because the good times were over. And finally, another character that I'm going to show you next hit him in the head with a skillet, and he coughed the bug out. So everything was fine. But I'm gonna try not to like overload you guys with references, because I know some of you maybe haven't seen it, but if you haven't, I highly suggest it. It's very quotable and very, like, it was like memes before memes, and that's pretty cool. Internet history is kind of cool. Okay, so Homestar is the main character, but the character that people probably recognize the most is this guy. This is Strong Bad, and he is dressed kind of like a luchador, and he doesn't have a shirt on. He had a email segment where he would get emails from real people, and they would make an animation about that email, and he would answer it in a very silly way, usually. An email that he got a lot was, how do you type with boxing gloves on? And it sort of became a running joke that he just wasn't going to answer that. And he never took his mask off. That was just his head. There was another email that someone asked him, said, do you take your boxing gloves and wrestling mask off before you go to bed? And he says, do you take your hands and face off before you go to bed? And if so, are you some kind of robot? And if so, what kind of powers do you have? Do you use them for good or for awesome? He really liked the word crap, and he liked awesome stuff, and he would come up with a lot of things that he thought were awesome. Like, he would paint a picture of a guy holding a big knife, and that would be, I don't think it was the flag of Strongbadia. He made this little area up that was like a fence and a tire, and that was called Strongbadia. And he painted a picture of a guy with a big knife. It was pretty cool. It was awesome. So this is Strongbad's best friend. He is the cheat, and he helps Strongbad with his plans and his pranks and that sort of thing. And he never really talked. He just sort of like, he reminds me of Beaker from the Muppets. He just went, and so Strongbad could understand him, but we couldn't. But he would, he made some videos also that you, like, it's all very meta, but he made music videos and other things on Paint and animated them within the animations. So you know, this pretty like good for the time Flash animation with really crappy Paint style animation inside of a video. So That was always really funny, but he's like a little animal, so I guess that's pretty impressive. This is Pom Pom. He doesn't talk either, he just speaks in like bubbles. But he's Homestar's best friend, but Homestar is not his best friend. And Pom Pom is really cool, and he always like is wearing shades and stuff like that. And Homestar like really gets on his nerves, you can tell. But he's sort of like true neutral. I don't know. He's an odd character. But yeah, he never talks, but he's always like got something going, and it's usually like successful, as opposed to another character who always has something going that is not successful. So yeah, that's Pom Pom. Strong Mad had two brothers. The first one was Strong Mad, and he could talk, but just not very well, and he was very brutish, and he yelled most things, and really like broken sentences and stuff. And usually Strong Dad would have him like help to do like the legwork of a prank or a plan. So he's a square, pretty much. And so that's his older brother, and his younger brother is Strong Sad, and he is very melancholy and really pitiful. He had elephant feet, and one time Strong Bad, he created these characters. One was a two-legged puppy, and his name was Little Brother. And Strong Sad was like, "Hey, Strong Bad, is Little Brother named after me? Do you think of me as a one-legged puppy?" Oh, is it one-legged puppy? And Strong Bad goes, "No, I think of you as a two-legged elephant named Tenderfoot. I could power a small city with my whining." And he goes, "I probably could." But yeah, so he talked like this all the time. He was really whiny. But he was kind of pitiful. Like, you felt bad because Strong Bad was always picking on him. Okay, let's see, what's a good segue next? This is Marzipan. And some people think she's a broom. She is the only female character on the show, in the series, and she is Homestar's on and off girlfriend. She's very green, like sustainable, kind of hippie, very feminist, and she gets really frustrated with the boys of the show a lot, but she cares for Homestar, and sometimes she breaks up with him, but she always gets back together with him because he's no good without her. But there she is. I was always kind of upset that she was the only girl on the show, but it is what it is. It was the early 2000s. Okay, so this is Coach Z. As you can see by it's not really a belt, it's like I guess it's a pendant, I guess it's his necklace or something, because he thinks he's a rapper, but he can't pronounce anything really well, and like he changes vowels to like or, So, like, there's one quote that I'm thinking of. They're on this mini golf course, and the ball is like, he's in space. This golf course was in like another dimension. It's called Sweet Puttin' Cakes. And he was on this hole. It was like an infinity hole, and so it was just him on this like little plot of land out in the middle of space with a hole in it, and then he would hit the hole and the ball would drop back through and hit the ground. And every time he did that, so he would knock it in the hole and it would fall from the top down again, and he would see it and goes, "Oh, I guess I forgot to port. I guess I forgot to putt." And he just did that forever, I guess. He was showing all the different holes of the golf course, but he's pretty precious baby. He doesn't really know what's going on. People take advantage of him. Strong Bad takes advantage of him. This is a character called Bubs, and he's kind of like Cartman, where he's always got some kind of sleazy enterprise going on. So he's the antithesis to Pom Pom, where Pom Pom has like, he's like always got girls with him, Pom Pom does, and like he's wearing cool shades. But Bubs is like, Homestar bought a pancreas from him one time. And he was like, oh, this is the same episode that Homestar swallowed the bug. And he said, he ran up and he goes, "Bubs, you're a doctor, right?" And he goes, "A doctor, eh? I think I might be one of those." And he goes through his cards. He's got all these like business cards. And he's like going through them, and they're hilarious. He's got paranormal investigator, normal investigator, bail bondsman, and then it says, "Here we go, Dr. Bubs," but it's like Dr. Bubs, and it's a VCR repair on the card. And so Homestar was like, all right, because he's really dumb. And so he's like, and Bubs is looking at his mouth, and he goes, "Yes, yes. I've got terrible, terrible news, Homestar. I'm afraid you've got no pancreas." He said, "But I do happen to have a fresh one for sale right here." And Homestar goes, "Bubs, are you an unethical quack?" And Bubs goes, "The most quackinest." And but I guess he bought it. I don't know the scene cut, but so yeah, he had a fresh pancreas for sale. He's got like a little like a hut where he always sells stuff, and he always has in stock whatever they need at the moment, like however weird it is. This is the king of town. He talks like this, and I guess he's technically the ruler, but I mean, he doesn't really do much. He has a castle, but he employs a poop smith. I'm not sure where the poop comes from, but this guy, he doesn't talk. He doesn't even make sounds, but he's always shoveling poop, and I don't know where it came from, but that's his job, and he works for the king of town, and they're always hanging out together. And the king of town is very like naive and kind of, I don't know, like very figurehead. Like he has really no ruling power or ability, but He looks like a little marshmallow man or something. But yeah, here's a better view of the Poopsmith. He's pretty scary. Pretty scary looking. Yeah, like his face is white, but his body is tan. Like, I don't know which one is his real color, or if they both are, and he's just like made of different people. Because also his legs are blue. Like these aren't shoes. Okay. This is a character that was created when someone in a strong bad email, when they submitted the email, they misspelled Homestar. And they spelled it Homestar. And this guy is an absolute basket case. He's just, I really have no description for Homestar. He's always spouting just these random lines that have no sense. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know. And he's always like around. And I'm gonna put links in the description, but I don't know what to say about him. His hats all the way are always like coming off his head and spinning around. Yeah. Sorry for all the cuts. Ross came home and I had closed. Basically, I'm in my workroom, and so there's a door to this room, and then there's a door to the back half of the house, and I closed them both because when the cats know that I'm in a room, they scratch at the door, and I didn't want that in the video because it's distracting. And so when Ross came home, he made a beeline for the bathroom, which is what he does, and he let the cats in, so they were scratching at the door. So I kicked him out, and no, I'm not gonna say that, never mind. So I kicked the cats out. So the last thing I'm gonna show you is kind of a bonus. Strong Bad got a spee-mail. They called them spee-mails, strong bad emails. So he got a spee-mail that asked if he had ever seen a Japanese cartoon. Or no, he said, what would you look like as a Japanese cartoon? And so Strong Bad proceeds to describe himself in anime style, and it's very, like, obviously Dragon Ball Z inspired. And he said, and for some reason I got blue hair. Gotta have blue hair. He said, then there's my mouth. Real tiny when it's closed. Ridiculously huge when it's open. And then basically you just put me in space and have me fly around in cool poses. So this is who he came up with. This is a perler bead version. I think I picked it up at maybe MTAC, Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, a couple years ago. But so this is Stinko Man, and he runs around, and he said, I'll probably have someone else do the voices. So they have these really bad dubs, like dub voices for him and Homestar, and then Pom Pom is a panda instead, and his name is Pan Pan, and he like bobbles around and then falls on people, and that's like the running gag of the anime. And he has a theme song, and it goes, challenge the fighting and fighting the challenge tonight. And he's always popping up and going, whoa, did I miss a challenge? it's very like shonen satire of like mid 80s and 90s anime, but those are always pretty funny too. Like the whole site is so good. It's got a lot of like kind of fart joke caliber jokes, but then it's got some really like more mature references to things. Like every Halloween they would dress the characters up in real life like costumes from people. And one year the king of town was he was Colonel Sanders. And one year, I think this is his name, but Strong Bad was Zombie, I think that's right, from Pee-wee's Playhouse. So they kind of reach back and get some pretty good ones. Bubs was Al Sharpton one year, but basically the whole series is just, it's really creative and really well done, and if you've never watched it, I highly suggest like giving it a shot. So I will put links in the description to the main website and a couple of my favorite videos. And I hope I am able to record a few more things for you this week. Because I know this one was mostly just soft-spoken. But again, I'm sorry. But I am going to dye my hair tonight because these roots are terrible. You can see them. But I might do like a nail painting video, and I owe, oh my gosh, Daniel, I think that's your name. I'm sorry, I forgot. But he has been posting on my Facebook page and wants a get ready with me video. So I'm definitely planning that too. It's just I want to do it in the morning when I'm actually getting ready. But in the real mornings, I don't feel like recording. So I'm going to have to do it on a weekend or something. But I guess that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. I know it's kind of simple, but I really like these little figures, so I thought some of you might like them too. So until next time, which will not be long, I promise. Thank you for watching.